been 50 years since the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I marked the anniversary in Memphis, Tennessee, where Dr. King preached his last sermon. I also got a chance to sit down with one of the activists who was with Dr. King on the Lorraine Hotel balcony that terrible day, and he witnessed the shooting. Andrew Young is a civil rights legend, a former UN ambassador, U.S. congressman, Atlanta mayor. He spoke with me about the murder of his friend and what the next generation can learn from the risks that they took for freedom. Take a look. 50 years later, how did it feel?
You know, I'm numb about it all.
You're numb?
And I had to make peace with Memphis before I left Memphis 50 years ago. And we talked about death all the time. And Martin used to say it, said, you know, we're going to die. Very few of us are going to see 50. He'd say, death is the ultimate democracy. Everybody's got to die. and we talked about the fact that it didn't make any difference who pulled the trigger. We knew what would be responsible for killing us. The combination of the resistance to our challenges on race, war, and poverty that would end up that the society is not strong enough and wise enough to appreciate our confrontation on those issues.
I don't think people really understand the level of strategic thinking that the movement had at its core. We see those marches, we hear the fiery speeches, and we think that that's what we're supposed to do. So we're marching, we're giving speeches. What do you think the next generation should be learning?
Well, you've got to first of all remember that you are a minority, and you can outvote them. You cannot outvote them by yourself. So you've got to work together with some people. They might not ever understand what you're talking about or what you go through, no matter how much they try. And Dr. King used to say, look, we can't help the way we were born. We were born in an unjust relationship, but we can work together to create a more just relationship that would make us all better and stronger.
You go from being a young man on a balcony, you know, pointing in the direction, one of the most famous pictures in world history. That would have broken a lot of people. Didn't break you. Nobody stopped. A couple decades later, you are helping to revitalize and really invent an American city. You know, that is a rare journey.
It was strange, and yet it was beautiful. I mean, I can never forget the bullet that pierced the tip of his chin and knocked it off and severed his spinal cord. I don't think he heard a shot, and I don't think he ever felt any pain. His heart continued to beat for about an hour, but that's the quickest transition to heaven anybody ever made. And my first reaction was, damn, you go into heaven and leave us in hell. You can't do that to us. We should go together. I don't think I've done anything that was not inspired by Martin Luther King. Even today, I think I'm speaking for him. And you should never forget how complex and how evil this world can be. Any opinion you have, any action you take, might cost you your life and the life of those around you. So you don't want to play social change. I mean, welcome to the club if you're ready to put your life on the line. And it's not something you can do in college and forget. These kids that had the blood of their 17 classmates splattered on their clothes, I think were baptized into a real movement. They don't seem to be bitter, they don't seem to be angry, but they are determined, they're smart, they're dedicated, and they can't escape. They will be in it for life, like I'm in it for life. They said, when are you going to retire? How can I retire when I cannot get Martin Luther King's wound out of my head.
Well, I'm glad you haven't retired, and I hope you never do. It's an honor.
Oh, good.
Thank you, sir. Brilliant, beautiful genius for justice. Up next, the creative genius behind the biggest film in the world. I'm talking to the director of the Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, when we get back.